Have you seen where a lot of these retail companies have increased their interest rates right around the time where they know people are going to be doing shopping, for the holidays? Let me know in the comments. Have you seen it? I was over on Water Your Soul's channel and he had did a video about this and I was just like, whoa. And so I really wanted to talk about tips on how we can, not pay interest. But first, before we do that, let's take a look at this. So y'all, it is several companies that have jacked up the interest on their retail store cards right around the holidays. So let's see what companies are on here. And so there are a lot of companies on this list. This list is 2 pages long, and some of the top companies are Big Lots, Burlington's, Academy Sports, Banana Republic, JCPenney's. Y'all, I was just in Macy's yesterday and they had asked me if I wanted to open up a credit card. But y'all, I'm trying to think to see if they had any kind of perks. I don't think that they had any kind of perks around that time. But I'm just like, whoa, like this is crazy. I really feel like they should have a cap on interest rates. Let me know in the comments. What do you think the cap should be on interest rates? Should it be 10%, 0%? Let me know what you think. Or is it the consumer's responsibility to make sure that they are not overspending so that we're not accumulating all this credit card debt? And I would say not even for the retail companies, even for the major credit card companies, because I want to say for my American Express Gold card, I believe my interest rate is 26%. So y'all, ain't no telling, before you know it, interest rates are going to be up to 40%. Let's say if you have a credit union, because I want to say with Navy Federal, those interest rates, while they have increased over the past, 2 years, is still not anywhere close to 26%. It might be between 12 and 18%, if I'm not making a mistake. So probably getting a credit card with one of the credit unions or be the best bet. But in this video, y'all, I want to get into some tips on how we can make sure and maybe beat these credit card companies so that we're not paying interest on credit cards. And so one of the ways that we can do this is possibly considering opening up a credit card that has a 0% introductory interest rate. So there are a lot of credit cards out there that has a 0% introductory, and the offers are between 15 and 20, even upwards of 21 months. Some of those credit cards can include the Discover It, the Citi Double Custom Cash, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, the American Express Blue Business Cash Every Day. So let me know in the comments, are you going to be taking advantage of any of those 0% APR introductory that they have on those credit cards? I think that is a great way to not pay interest on credit cards. But the main thing is that you want to make sure that you have a plan of action so that after the 15 to 20 months, if you haven't paid it off, then it's just like, whoa, it could be 26 or even higher percent interest, and then they're going to tack on all the interest. So you just want to make sure to have a plan. And then I will say, if you do have credit cards that have a balance on those credit cards, you might want to consider doing a balance transfer to a 0% interest credit card. And I know for sure that the Discover It, they have it, because I did that a few years back. And I think that is really good. You want to make sure now with the balance transfers, while I think that it's good to be able to do a balance transfer, you still want to make sure that you have a plan of action, because just like with the credit cards that have the 0% interest, these end after the 15 to 20 months. And if you don't have a plan, then you're just going to have all that interest on the back end. And so you don't want to do that. So like myself, when I did it, I had a plan and I had ended up paying off my, it was on my Discover It, and I had paid it off within probably 12 to 14 months, because I think I had 18 months. And so you just want to make sure that you have a plan of action. Next, possibly you could see about setting up automatic payments. I was just on Key's channel from Kiki Adventures, and she was talking about setting up automatic payments on her credit cards. Now, I do think that this is a good way to make sure that you're not having any late fees on your credit cards. But you'll have to let me know in the comments, what do you think about automatic payments? I said that possibly I would consider it, but right now, I'm not doing this. And last but not least, but I really wanted to put this first, is one, we want to be making sure that we're paying the balance off in full every month. And I know that it could be, I guess you can say it's a little bit easier said than done. But the thing is, if we have a plan for our money, then on the one hand, we're not really going to care what the interest rate is. And one way that we can do this is possibly by making more frequent payments during the month, opposed to, let's say, only making a payment one time a month. Maybe once a week you could go in and make those payments. But I think that it is really good to, before you even use your credit cards, how can I create my budget so that I'm only spending what I know that's coming in, and then, do it that way. Because like for me, I use my credit cards for pretty much 90% of my purchases every month. And so I just pay my credit card off, but I make sure to do my budget, every month. Now, what I like to do, I like to use the credit card utilization hack, where I'm reporting, if I can, less than 10%. Usually I'm going to be reporting about 2%. We want to make sure that we're having low utilization, but just because we are reporting to the credit bureau, it doesn't mean that we have to pay interest on the credit cards. So one, you just want to make sure that you're paying the minimum balance before the due date. But then two, after whatever, let's say less than 10% is reported to the credit bureau. After that is reported to the credit bureau, then you can pay it off. And so, possibly that can give you a little bit more time, but I think that it's great to be able to use a credit card utilization hack. And so I've been doing this for a few years now, and I haven't paid interest on credit cards probably, I know for sure, over 5 years, but it could be longer than that, because I know how it is, especially with the credit cards. You just want to be buying up all the stuff, but on the same hand, we are leaving a lot of money on the table if we are just paying the credit card companies. They taking all our money. We don't want the credit card companies to be taking all our money. We want to be using their points and things like that, so that we can go on trips and you can get the cash back. But if we are paying interest on credit cards, but then getting the points and the cash back, then really we are just breaking even with the points. And so we want to make sure that we are paying the credit cards off every month. Are you looking for a way to keep track of your monthly budget? Well, check out my 2025 digital budget planner. I just posted it on my Etsy shop. You can go into the description and click on the link. In the budget, you have goal setting, you have a monthly budget, a debt repayment, you have a savings tracker. So check out the 2025 digital budget planner on my Etsy shop. I hope that this was helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time. It's not a game.